What's up, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Loki series, Marvel Legends Sylvie. Now with season 2 of Loki finally ending, I decided to do this review video. I don't think they'll be making any figures based on season 2, but I'm not really too sure. Now if you guys are new to the channel, I do review videos on Marvel Legends, Black Series figures, and Star Wars Legos and other Legos that I get along the way. So let's go ahead and do this review on the Loki Sylvie. So looking at it first, this does have the old style box. As you guys could tell, they do have like the fully enclosed box, and this is the open window box. Now I could already see that this one does come with accessories, and I did do a review on the TVA Loki. That one did come with the Build-A-Figure Wave piece, just like this one, but this one came with some accessories. It came with a dagger or a sword, and it came with 2 fists, versus Loki came with nothing but the Build-A-Figure Wave pieces. So let's go ahead and look around the box. You guys can see that it does say Loki. This is Marvel Sylvie with the Disney Plus logo, and on the side you do have that artwork that they do typically do on the Marvel Legends box. Now looking on the back, Sylvie is number 6 of the Watcher Build-A-Figure Wave. Now I've had this already for quite some time, probably a couple years now. I haven't opened any of the figures besides the TVA Loki, so hopefully I'll probably end up doing a review of these eventually. Probably not anytime soon, but if I do, you guys will see it on the channel. So let's go ahead and open Sylvie. So here we have a trade shot of Sylvie. Looks pretty good in my opinion. I could already tell that the likeness is really there. We do have the 2 fists and the dagger, so we're gonna go ahead and take the accessories out. We're not gonna take the Build-A-Figure Wave piece. We're gonna leave that intact. So before anything, we're gonna go ahead and look at the accessories first. We do have this clean dagger. You guys can see it's a nice emerald green, and then even on the hilt has some nice detail, as you guys could tell. I can't really tell what animal this is here on the back, but it does look pretty dope. It does come with 2 different hands. They're both relaxed open hands on a little hinge, which is not too bad. I guess the paint application is pretty good, could be better, but overall not that bad, especially with the old price point of these Marvel Legend figures. So let's go ahead and grab Sylvie. So grabbing Sylvie, you guys can see, man, this figure is actually really dope. But another thing that I noticed, it does come with an additional accessory that you guys don't really know about. So this cloak or cape or whatever, it does come off, and it comes off pretty fast. We're gonna go ahead and put that aside for right now and just look at the figure all together. You guys can see that the added detail for this is pretty good and pretty on par for what it looks like on the show. I think it's pretty decent. I can imagine why this came with a different hand, because it is an open palm hand. I think I would probably prefer the other hands instead. Not really too keen on this fist. I think the 2 open palms probably looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and look at that cloak real quick. You guys can see that it is a soft material or soft rubber. Decent weathering, I guess you could say. Overall, the coloring and paint is not too bad, and then putting it on shouldn't really be too hard. You guys can see how quick it is to put it on. Now when it comes to the articulation with this thing on, is going to be really restricted, so you guys have to decide whether you're going to display it with this on or off. Now if this was a soft goods or just a cloth cape, this would have been so much better, but it being molded like this, you know, you're really restricted on how you want to display it. Personally, I'll probably keep it with the cloak on, because I think it looks a lot better in my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure before we continue rating it any further. So when it comes to articulation, it slightly does have, it's not really double jointed, it is single jointed, but it can move a little bit more than 90 degrees. Now the hands is on a hinge, so it barely moves, or it kind of does, but not that much. Let's see the other arm. So the arm kind of goes the same way, passes 90 degrees just a little bit. Overall is not too bad. Let's go ahead and look at the ab crunch. Now she can move like this, which is, I guess, not too bad. It goes further back pretty good. Now let's go ahead and look at the knees. Now I think it is double jointed knees, could be wrong. I mean, it doesn't want to move. Yeah, I think it's single jointed. Nope, it's double jointed knees right there. You guys can see it is pretty stiff, so you kind of have to move it around just a little bit. There is no toe articulation in it, and the ankle is on a hinge. Now it does have the thigh swivel, which is pretty good in my opinion. Now when we try to rotate the body left and right, you really can't, so it does restrict the articulation and the posing in that aspect. When it comes to the head scope, it does go down pretty good, and it does go up as far as looking left and right pretty smooth and seamlessly. Now that head sculpt looks pretty good in my opinion. Now it does look like the actress that portrays Sylvie on the show. You guys can see that it is missing one horn here, and it's actually pretty good detailed. You guys can see that it looks like it's broken. Overall, this is not a bad figure. So let's go ahead and remove this hand so you guys have an idea what it looks like when removing it. All right, so we got one hand right here, which is not too bad. Now I gotta see the other relaxed hand. I think I'm gonna end up putting this one on, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that fist out. So personally, I'll probably just keep both of these hands just like this, relaxed. So we're gonna go ahead and put this dagger on her hand. So looking at how the dagger fits, it fits pretty good. I'm actually surprised how easy it was, because a lot of these Marvel Legend figures, they make the hands very stiff, so it's kind of hard to really insert the accessories. So now that we swapped out the hands, we're going to go ahead and put Sylvie in a few poses so you guys have an idea exactly how this figure poses. So now that we're done with the posing, overall, when it comes to the rating of this figure, I think when it comes to accessories, I think I'll give this a solid 7.5 out of 10, only because it does come with a Build-A-Figure wave, as well as two hands and a dagger. So when it comes to articulation, I think I'll give this figure a 7 out of 10. Although it does have a few good points of articulation, it's really not that great considering how new this figure is. Although it is a few years old, I do expect more from Hasbro, especially with the price point of this figure, at least what it was at the time. But when it comes to accuracy, I definitely give this an 8 out of 10 because it does look pretty good in my opinion as far as accuracy of how the character looked in the Loki show. Now when it comes to artwork, that artwork is just my bread and butter with the open window. That artwork on the box, I'll definitely give it an 8 out of 10. It's nice to have the figure or the character on the side so you guys can display it that way if you want to keep it in box. I'm not sure if I'm going to put her back in the box. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really too sure. Depends on what other figures come out later on. And I do want to put her with He Who Remains, which I don't have that figure, but I do need to get my hands on that now that the Loki season 2 show is over. Anyways, you guys comment down below, what is your favorite part of this figure? Do you guys end up getting this when it came out a couple years ago? And did you guys like season 2 of Loki? And what is your favorite variant Loki as well? And I'll see you guys in the next video.